the Comic PM.
What is up, besties? It is your girl Karmic, back to you again with another video, and this time I did a whole ass deep dive. I recently hit 1,500 subscribers, and as a thank you, I am so grateful for all of you. You have no idea. I appreciate you guys so freaking much. So as a thank you, I went deep with this reading, guys. I looked at things you didn't even ask me to look at, to be honest with you, but I took a look at, I'm blanking. What did I look at? Oh, so I took a look at the supposed Taylor Swift snubbing Celine Dion. I got into as well potentials for her new album, which also told me a little bit about her feelings with Travis and with Joe. I also looked at Beyonce's feelings towards Taylor, because the whole Kanye speaking out on Taylor and Jay Z speaking out on Taylor, I had to know if there was a little more going on. And maybe there is. Maybe there is. As always, I also dove into, because this matters so much, which is why I left it for the end, because it was the most important part. I looked at, is there a Grammys racial bias going on? Are people winning awards that they didn't deserve to win? Are they actually being voted because of their talent? And yeah, I looked into all of it, to be honest with you. So I covered a lot. I'm probably forgetting some stuff, but by the time you see this, there will be, timestamps, and you'll see where I covered what. But like I said, Taylor's album, Beyonce's feelings, the Grammys itself, and racial inequality, which is a real thing, period. And if Grammys are rigged. And yeah, this is just my thank you to you guys for being here. I'm so grateful for all of you. You guys have no idea. Thank you so much to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. Thank you to everybody that likes my videos, that comments down below. I love to hear from you guys. Thank you to everybody that shares my videos with your friends. And just thank you guys for being you. I love you guys so much, and I'm truly so grateful to have you be a part of my journey. And I hope that you guys continue to engage with me, continue to vote in the community post so that I can try and make your opinions happen as readings, because sometimes even I don't have an idea, y'all. But without further ado, this is always and will always be alleged and for entertainment purposes only, besties. There are no facts here, just psychic impressions from floating hands on the internet. But so I don't stutter through this per usual, without further ado, guys, let's get into it. All right, besties. So by now you guys know what I'm going to cover, because all of the timestamps are down below. But we are going to start by taking a look at allegedly why Taylor Swift snubbed Celine Dion. Now, to be honest, so T-Swift fans, don't come after me. I'm hearing the word accident. So did she feel like she wasn't going to get Album of the Year? Is that what it was that she got? Because it almost feels like I'm in a wind world, and it's like, holy shit, I didn't see this coming. It's giving me the vibe of like expecting someone else to win. So was Beyonce one of the options? Because it almost feels like this reminds me of like a surprise birthday party. That's the vibe that I'm getting. It's like I'm walking into a surprise birthday party. I'm shocked. You know what I mean? So I feel like she was just kind of shocked. So I don't think she was prepared to win. But let's check it out. Did she snub Celine Dion? Yeah, I feel like I don't know what she was doing prior to this, but it feels like she was already exhausted from something else. So was she partying prior to this, or was this not the first award that she won? Because this feels like I've already felt all of the emotions. I'm feeling all of the emotions. So I think that she was, because I only watched clips of this, but I see her like hugging everybody like, oh my God, that was genuine. And with accept loss and move on, because it says it on the card, I feel like she knew it was like an oh shit. Like I kind of fumbled the bag here. I should have paid more attention. Because, like, I'm seeing, like, I don't remember which movie it is, but it's like, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. So that being said, I do feel like she is a fan of Celine Dion. I don't feel like this was a snub. And to anyone who's like, then why are you covering it? Like, we could all tell. Because there's a lot of behavior analysis that are covering it, and it's saying that it's speaking to her character, which is why I wanted to look into this. But that being said, it just feels like I am overwhelmed with emotions. And think about when you're overwhelmed with emotions, whether bad or good. You're not going to think like logically, right? So I think that's why. And I'm also being drawn to how apparently Celine isn't supposed to be touched or something. So I feel like that was part of her concern. Like, I don't want to, because I'm hearing like step on any toes. So I don't feel like, again, this doesn't feel malicious at all. I kind of assumed that this was the answer that I would get, but I just wanted to make it, fact, allegedly. This doesn't feel like it was out of disrespect, out of thinking I'm better than Queen Bee. No, it's like I have a respect. I feel like this is why she took the picture with Celine after. It's almost giving me the vibe of like talking to her. I don't know if this was on camera or not, but did she have a conversation with Celine Dion behind the scenes? Because it's almost giving me the vibe of like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I was in the heat of the moment. I wasn't thinking. I was just overwhelmed with emotion. It's just very much like overwhelmed with emotion. Already exhausted. This doesn't feel like, again, I didn't watch it, so was this not the first award she won? Because this is giving me the vibe of like, I'm being drawn to how when I was a kid, I used to win bingo all the time. And by the time you win like your fifth bingo prize, you're just like, holy shit, how is this still happening? So that's kind of the vibe that it's giving me. It's like, how am I still winning? How am I still getting all these awards? I'm shocked. I'm shook. Like, that's the vibe of this. I don't feel like she felt like she was going to win this award. It feels like she thought, was Beyonce one of the people that could have won this award? Because it feels like she feels like someone else, and it's giving me the vibe of Beyonce, but I could be wrong. But it's just the vibe of like, I thought someone else was going to win this, not me. Yeah, it's like out of my comfort zone. Didn't see this coming. She's definitely concerned with the public eye. Again, but she also feels like, are you kidding me? Like, this is something that's so little. This is so petty. This is not who I am. You guys always have something to say about me. There's always got to be an issue in the media. You always got something to say. So I do feel like Taylor Swift feels like she's being attacked. She just feels like people are just judging her and they always got something to say. Honestly, I agree. I don't feel like she's wrong in this. Honestly, I don't know that this is going to be worth covering too much more. Yeah, it's like the emotions getting the best of you. You're not really focused on it. She didn't think that it would blow up, but again, it's like you're in the spotlight, so everybody's gonna, yeah. Yeah, it's like I didn't expect it, because this reminds me of like award, handing off an award. I didn't expect this to happen, so I'm shocked. I don't really feel like I need to pull too much more. Friction between two people. She didn't like that. I do feel like she felt that she didn't deserve the award. It's like I didn't put enough effort in compared to other people that were nominated for this. Like, why am I winning this? I don't know if she would actually say this, but I think she felt like there are people that are better deserving of this award than me. So I'm really not understanding why you chose me. That's the vibe of this. Anything else? I don't really feel like. She was loving it, though. Yeah, I'm hearing ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Okay. This has to do with Travis, but I'm not sure why. Hold up. Okay, so this is just random tea. I don't know why this is being brought up. This is reminding me of Travis. Well, Travis is a Libra, right? And this is reminding me of her ex, Joe. So I'm being drawn to a scene of an Amy Schumer movie called Trainwreck, where her man is receiving an award and she's got better things to do, basically. Like, she's dealing with her boss, dealing with management, and he feels slighted because he wasn't there, or she wasn't there. So, like, I do feel, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, that Taylor was hurt that Travis couldn't be there. It's like he had to do his own shit. Did he have football that day or something like that? It's like, it's giving me the vibe of like, yeah, I'm seeing things of like, you know, if you have like a dance recital and you look in the crowd and your parents not there, that's kind of the vibe of this. I think that was weighing heavy on her mind that night as well. It's like, I wish my man was here. I wish I had his support, but he's got to make his own money. I understand that he's doing his other stuff. Maybe this is weird. What does this got to do with anything? Was Joe better at supporting stuff like this? Or maybe it's reminding her of Joe. Maybe there was a trigger here about, did Joe not support her either? This is weird. Hold on. Oh. I'm hearing Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. This might have something to do with her new album. You know what? I'm going to pull separate cards because I feel like they're wanting to talk about the album and I don't want to get things confused. So as it stands, I would say this was not a snub towards Celine Dion. In fact, I think she actually really likes Celine Dion. I feel like she's a fan of Celine Dion. I think this was just, what I'm hearing is an oversight. It's just like when I'm seeing like a tornado around me. It's like when you're overwhelmed with emotions, you're going to screw up. You're human. I expected this as an answer. I just wanted it kind of like ironclad so that, you know, if people come towards you as a T Swift fan and they're like, look at how selfish she is. No, she was just emotional and excited. And she also wishes that her man was there. So she was going through a lot of different emotions at the time. It was just like, oops. Yeah, because I'm hearing Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears. I feel like it was unintentional selfishness that she kind of has a habit of doing because she has a habit of thinking about herself first. And again, I'm not trying to drag her. It's just that's kind of what the media, that's what this system creates. So I want to look at this album. All right, so let's take a look at the new album she has coming out. I keep hearing Thank You Next on repeat in my head. So I almost wonder if there's going to be some music about Joe, some music about her gratitude towards Travis. Obviously, she's not going to, I don't think she's going to use their actual names. But with Thank You Next, it's reminding me a lot of like the things that I've learned because of you. And now it's lining up for me to be with somebody who's actually healthy for me. Though, if you check out my reading on their relationship, I would disagree. It's not the healthiest, though. Maybe it's time I do an update. I don't know. We will see. I want something actually important to happen in the news before I decide to do another Taylor Swift reading. But yeah, as always, if you enjoy these readings, please give it a like. It does support my page. Subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. And as always, this is a legend and for entertainment purposes only. What can we know about the album, Spirit? Why am I hearing the song, You're No Good, You're No Good, Baby, You're No Good? Okay, I've said this before in other readings. I don't buy that she's over Joe. That being said, sometimes, yeah, that's what I thought, Spirit. Sometimes it's not that we're not over the person. We're not over the energy that we gave them. So like, not to air out my personal laundry, but I've been in a lot of like 1 month relationships because it really doesn't take me long to realize that someone's not healthy for me. And a lot of times my sadness isn't so much that I miss the person. It's that I'm aggravated about all the time that I've lost to someone that was never going to be what I needed. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. I think she might end up talking about how like, maybe like misunderstanding Joe, not really. I feel like she's going to get a little bit more raw. Like, there might be, I feel like there's like a variety going on. Yeah, I'm being drawn to like Variety. I think there's a magazine called Variety. I don't know, but I'm being drawn to that. I feel like there's going to be some songs about like love because that's her, go-to. And she's going to like, that's going to be more towards like Travis. And then there's going to be some songs about like self-reflection, looking back at the things that hurt me, how I couldn't move forward because of you. Yeah, because I'm hearing Because of You by Kelly Clarkson. So I do feel like there's going to be some kind of like low blows, but it's going to be like read between the line. Like the Swifties will understand what's going on. But for anyone that hears it on the radio that's not a huge fan, they'll just be like, oh, this is a banger. Like I also loved someone that hurt me. It's like trying to turn something that once hurt me into money because I couldn't move forward. So I got to it's making lemonades out of lemons is the vibe of this. So I do think that some of the songs are going to be based on Joe and their relationship and how it was stressful for her and how maybe he couldn't see her. Like, and I wouldn't agree that Travis sees her, but I feel like she believes that Travis sees her. You know what this is about? It's because Joe didn't want to be in the spotlight, whereas Travis loves the spotlight. So I feel like that's the issue, right? Joe wants to be the guy next door. Taylor wants to be the next it girl, like all these other chicks. So I feel like she's kind of still got some pent up anger about that situation that she channels as music. I mean, that's the one good thing that comes from her serial dating is she makes good music about it. But with this Chariot in reverse, it's like not moving forward. So I think she's going to talk about what she went through, probably paint herself as a victim, to be honest with you, which I don't love because it takes two. It does take two. And I'm being drawn to like black and white and duality. So I do feel like it's going to be a spectrum. You might hear songs where it's like, you broke my heart, you destroyed me. And then you might hear songs where it's like, because of you, I've learned about myself. And then you're going to hear songs about like, I'm in love and it's got to do with Travis. Yeah, it's like I put you on a pedestal and I was wrong. And now I'm going to get up and stop feeling like a victim. Like, that's the vibe. I feel like, honestly, like, as someone who actually does healing work, this feels kind of childish to me, but hey, you know, make the music you want. But it seems like she hasn't exactly, I mean, she hasn't learned her lesson. She jumped from relationship to relationship. But that being said, with the Emperor in reverse, it's like, I put you on a pedestal that you didn't deserve. But then I also can feel, so I don't know if this is going to be in the song per se, because again, she's with Travis, so there's some probably got to respect Travis energy here. But with the Judgment card, it's like realizing, like, yeah, I'm hearing the song I Can Do Bad All By Myself. So again, it kind of gives me like deflection, not actually doing the self-reflection of like how you were part to blame in this. But with the Emperor in reverse, it's like putting you on a pedestal that you didn't deserve. So I do feel like there's going to be some cheap shots towards Joe, but I don't think she'd be the type to like actually say his name. It's going to be us that knows that she's talking about him. I could also see Joe like rolling his eyes. I don't think he's actually going to do anything, but I feel like, because I'm getting drawn to Joe and just being like, wow, I'm not shocked about that. Like, that's the vibe from Joe's energy. It's like, of course you turned it into a song. Of course you make it about you. But honestly, if she didn't serial date, would she have any inspiration for music? Because life's not that hard for her, you know what I mean? But I do think she's going to focus on like, maybe like, you made me feel stupid. Everybody saw us fall apart. Like, it's drawing me to like, Romeo and Juliet, her song Romeo and Juliet. It's kind of reminded me of that, mixed with like the song Tim McGraw and like the song You'll Think of Me by Keith Urban. So maybe like, yeah, because it's giving me like Thank You Next vibes from Ariana Grande. Like, you'll regret this, you'll remember me, you'll never get over me, that type of energy. It just feels kind of petty, to be honest with you. Oh, there's Joe. Yeah, removing your love, not appreciating me. She's going to acknowledge that she had a part to play with this King of Wands in reverse because she's a fire sign, but this also makes me feel like she could go the petty route and be like, you didn't appreciate what you had, you took your love away from me, you weren't appreciative of my stardom, and you felt like you were, like, maybe she feels that he couldn't be of her caliber is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. So I'm not sure if this is going to be her actual lyrics, but this is definitely the headspace that she was in when she was making this music. Just like, you didn't appreciate what I had to offer, so I had to turn elsewhere. We separated. Like, look at how these two people aren't looking at each other. I'm taking my love elsewhere. The middle is apathetic, not appreciating what I have, and then me turning my head, turning a blind eye. So, and especially with this being masculine energy, so it could have been like, you didn't appreciate my level of fame, you didn't appreciate that I was a star. So again, it feels petty. It's hard for me. Yeah, especially with that 10 of Pentacles, you didn't appreciate what I've created, my work. She might also acknowledge that, like, because I'm being drawn to like when we were young, so maybe like the timing wasn't right, our differences in regards to work and our abilities to grow. So maybe she could have done a full turn. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune reverse is where I'm like, again, it's like making music out of pain. But at the same time, I do feel like she's headed into space now where it's like she's kind of right. You just couldn't handle my caliber of stardom. But like I've seen in the readings with her and Travis, it feels like he enjoys her stardom a little bit too much, where it's like riding off the coattails, giving me a vibe of like Britney and Sam Asghari. So is Travis that great? I still don't buy it. I have yet to see that he's just madly in love. I'm not buying it. I feel like he likes the fame. She likes the fame. They have that in common. Whereas Joe liked a quiet, calm life. He didn't like how hard she worked. Because I feel like I said in a prior reading where he was like, when is enough enough? He wanted to settle down, be calm. He didn't really, it's like, make my money, get out. I don't need to be, the poster boy. I don't need to be in all the GQ magazines. And I feel like they have a different way of looking at life. You know what I mean? So I don't know that she's fully really gotten why they're different. It's just more like because she jumped onto another person, another relationship, but he's more fitting of what she needs. He likes the limelight. I think she's going to teeter back and forth between like songs about men that don't appreciate her, songs about realizing I've grown out of things, and then songs about the love of my life. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song with J-Lo where it's like, where she says, I am the love of my life. That's a really good fucking song. So maybe, it's giving me again, Thank You Next by Ariana Grande, where it's like, I'm the one that I need to love. I need to focus on myself. So you could also see songs about like needing to focus on myself and needing to realize that I matter too. That's kind of the vibe of this. Yeah, expansion, starting over. Yeah, this is all about starting over. I feel like, yeah, unpleasant memories from the past. It's kind of reminded me of that, I really like that song, All Too Well, when it's about that ex that, like, dated her when she was basically too young. So, again, it's like going back to old memories that hurt, trying to turn it into something that's gold. Look, I feel like this album was about reflecting on my life and turning it into a masterpiece. Kind of the vibe of this. So I do think you're going to get some bangers out of this. I'm not going to lie. I do think that you're going to get some songs that are pretty solid, especially like if you've had your heart broken, there's definitely going to be a song there for you that's like, yeah, fuck that guy. Like definitely going to have one of those. If you're madly in love, there's going to be a song for you like, oh yeah, I'm so in love. This song reminds me of my love. And there might even be a song about like figuring out who I am and learning how to start over. Though again, you went from relationship to relationship. I don't necessarily agree that that's what she did, but that sounds like what she's going to try to turn into music. Okay, here's Travis. Okay, I don't think this is about the record anymore. How do I word this, Spirit? Okay, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. I think this is why I'm getting a bigger picture. I think this is why they're not really honing in on the music itself. The home card's in reverse. And this is Travis. And it reminds me of like shutting my mouth, keeping the peace, and then headed elsewhere. I feel like she gets triggered when he's not completely obsessed and focused on her because that's how she wants love to be. She wants love to be like, you're obsessed with me. You can't get enough of me. She doesn't. Yeah, because I'm being drawn to. And for people that want to know what this deck is, there you go. Go ahead and screenshot it. But it's giving me the vibe of like, I don't know how to be independent. And I feel like Travis needs a lot of alone time, a lot of space. And I do feel like that triggers her. So I don't know if she's necessarily going to put this in the album, but it definitely feels like she's got some resentment towards Travis because it's like, I need you to love me all the time. Love me all the time. Pay attention to me all the time. I almost feel like she's a little bitter, like I said in the first part. I think she's upset that he didn't like move arrangements around to be at the Grammys. Like, even if that means he had a football game that day, because this is reminding me of like sports. So maybe he had a sport that day. I don't know, but it's just giving me the vibe of like, I do, you know what? This is how I could see this relationship failing. It's like, I do everything for you. Why aren't you doing everything for me? I go to all of your games. I'm always there for you. Why can't you show up at my Grammys? Again, it's reminding me of that movie Trainwreck where he does everything for the girl, but the girl doesn't do really anything for him. Not saying that that's Travis's headspace. I feel like Taylor's a little selfish. I'm sorry, it's what I see. But again, when you chase fame and you don't know how to love yourself, you're going to put a lot of projections on other people. And with that home card in reverse, it's like, why weren't you there? Yeah, I'm hearing the song, Where Were You, when everything was falling apart. It's like she expects people to be her, like, companion, her, like, teddy bear as a child that you can't let go of. You know what I mean? So I do think she is bitter that he didn't show up. Whether or not that's because he had a game, which is a legitimate reason, it doesn't matter. That's how she felt. There's Joe. She's comparing them. She is. She's comparing them. I think she has moments where she's like, I feel like Joe. Okay. So here's the thing. Travis loves the spotlights. It's giving me Britney and Sam Asghari. I'm sorry. That's what I keep seeing. Whereas Joe, I feel like he was the type of person that would be like, he'd soothe her. He'd calm her down. He'd be there for her for the emotional support that she needs. Granted, I do feel like she would lash out because she doesn't like being told what to do. But with the Two of Pentacles, it's like comparing is the vibe that I'm getting. Like, did I make the right choice by walking away from you? I do feel like I'm hearing buyer's remorse. I can't ignore that. I do feel like, because, again, when you don't heal from shit, you're going to compare, right? You're going to be like, well, this person treated me this way and this person treated me that. That's kind of what she's doing. It's almost like, how dare you not come to, like, did he go to the Grammys with her or anything like that? If he didn't, I bet he was at home, like, waiting with a glass of wine, because I'm being drawn to this cup here, and being like, how did you feel? How was your night? Whereas Travis is just like, he's a boy's boy. He just wants to have fun. He doesn't do that heartfelt shit. Joe's a Pisces. He taps into his emotions. He's a very grounded person. Does he have Taurus placements? I feel like I've said this before. I feel like he's got Taurus placements because it's like slow, steady growth, building, opportunities. But he's more grounded. He's more down to earth. And I feel like, again, I keep hearing buyer's remorse. I feel like this is all optics, y'all. I don't buy that. I feel like she projects what she wants Travis to be onto him. And on the good days, it's good. Don't get me wrong. So, listen, I think we can admit, be honest with yourself. We've projected onto people because we wanted to see the best in them. I feel like she projects a lot of shit onto Travis. But at the end of the day, he doesn't give her the emotional depth that she needs that Joe was really good at giving. So maybe the Grammys was over, right? And then she calls Travis. Like, I almost see her, like, calling him after and being like, oh, my God, I won all these awards. And then he being like, yeah, babe, that's really cool. And it's like, that's it? Like, yeah, I'm hearing crickets. It's like, that's it? That's all you got to say? Like, you don't have more? Whereas I feel like Joe would have been the type of, like, oh, my God, babe, that's amazing. How are you feeling? I'm so proud of you. I feel like he was more of, like, a father type of energy. Whereas Travis is, like, younger brother, young mindset, just childish, having fun, trying to live his own dream. I feel like Joe is just more, he gives me like disappointed dad energy where it's like, I'm going to support you. If you mess up, I'm still going to love you, but I'm going to tell you I'm disappointed because I want what's best for you. Whereas Travis is just like loving the glitz and the glam. Like, I'm being drawn to New York City and all the lights. It's like, ooh, shiny. I feel like he's got a ooh, shiny syndrome. So again, I do feel like whatever she puts out in terms of like, if she makes a song that's like, I'm so grateful that I'm not with you anymore, bullshit. With this Two of Pentacles followed by, look, you got Travis right here, and then you got Joe following right behind, and then this is a card about transitioning. So I think she goes back and forth sometimes, and it's like, but I'm hearing like it's too late. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, it's too late to apologize. So I think she knows she fucked up a good thing, but with her pride, I don't think she'll ever admit it. I think she misses a lot of stuff that Joe gave her that Travis is incapable of doing because he's never met himself to that level of depth. It's just, this is reminding me of like sports. It's like, I go. I feel like he's like, I'm being drawn to like, again, that movie Trainwreck where she's dating John Cena and yeah, he's gorgeous and he's fun, but he's got the emotional depth of a goldfish. I feel like that's the same with Travis Kelce. He's got the emotional depth of a goldfish. This is just tea. I feel like Spirit don't even care about the, lack of self-love. I feel like if she had the option, if like, you know what I'm being drawn to? Yeah, with that, look at how he's like facing, it's like heading back towards, I think she misses Joe. Allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, especially with the Empress in the reverse, lack of self-love, lack of being able to build oneself up. Page of Swords in the reverse reminds me of like trying to reach out on social media, but it's in the reverse, so it's like I can't. So I think there's a lot of comparing going on in her head. It's like, you don't reach my depths the way that Joe used to. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with you. But when it's time for the tough stuff, when it's time for emotions, you're not really there. It's giving me a lot of vibes of like, you know how like Selena's The Fixer. I'm hearing The Fixer by Brent Morgan. If you're an empath and you have a habit of fixing people, I highly recommend that song. Basically, the point is fixers never fix themselves. They try to fix other people. So I feel like she's trying to put Travis into a role that Travis can't fit because it's like, I'm focused on building my own legacy. I don't really care. I'm glad that you're my cheerleader, but I don't feel like it. I'm hearing like 80-20 in my mind. So it's like Travis doesn't give to the extent that Taylor does, but Taylor gives with the expectation that you need to give back. Both of those energies are not healthy. Whereas I feel like Joe was always trying to be the fixer to Taylor. Like, how can I calm you down? This isn't that serious. Like, I bet, you know what this is? Okay, so I feel like this is coming full circle. I feel like she knew that Celine Dion thing was going to cause a riffle or rough, whatever that's, channel, guys, no brain here. I feel like she might have reached out to Travis and he'd be the type that's like, it's not a big deal, babe. Don't even worry about it. Whereas Joe would be like, how do I support you? How do I help you? How do I make you feel better? They're very different with I feel like Travis has the emotional love language of like acts of service, giving things. Whereas Joe's the type to like soothe you. Let's talk about things. How do I support you? So I feel like at the Grammys or like not too long after, she had a moment of weakness where she thought about reaching out to Joe. She was not going to do it, but she was like, he could give me the emotional support that I know that I need right now. Travis isn't giving it to me. Allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, no facts here. Don't come for me, T-Swift fans. I'm not sure. I don't care. So like, So don't, I don't care. Like, please. Yeah, refusal to change. Look at this. Look at these aces in reverse. It's like, I think, yeah, I'm hearing the song If I Could, Oh, Then I Would. It's by Jason Mraz. I think she misses the depth that Joe had, that Travis just does not give her. She's so used to being strong and independent by herself. And then when people want to help her, it's like, how dare you put your opinions in? But then when people don't want to help her, it's like, why won't you help me? Why don't you care about me? So again, when you don't know how to love yourself, you will reject healthy love and you will try to fix people that can't be fixed. And so the luxury that is Travis is starting to wear off because, yeah, the optics look good and we're in the camera. But again, I just feel like it's all optics to make Joe jealous. Yeah, I'm hearing jealous by Labyrinth. I'm jealous of the nights that I don't spend with you. I wonder who you're laid next to. Yeah, she misses Joe. I'm sorry. I said what I said. Because with the Death card is refusing to change, that Ace of Swords is reaching out. Seven of Swords, this reminds me of like lying to yourself. She's lying to herself. She doesn't, I'm sorry, it's what I see. She doesn't love herself fully because she wants that knight in shining armor energy. You know what I mean? She wants someone to complete her. But as we've learned, no one can complete you but yourself. People need to add to your life. I feel like Joe added to her life. She didn't know what that looked like. It was foreign to her. I definitely think she's got some daddy issues. And so when a man's good to her, it's like, what's the catch? So she needs fixer-uppers. But again, I just feel like it's like I'm receiving these Grammys. Why aren't you here? Joe would have cared. I'd call Joe. Joe would support me. He'd be on the phone with me for 2 hours trying to calm me down. Whereas you're just kind of like, you know what this is reminding me of? My Justin Bieber reading where the comparison of Haley versus Selena. Selena's a Cancer. She's a nurturer. It's like, how do we get to the root? How do I soothe you? How do I help you? How do I fix you? Whereas Haley's like, let's get you out of your head. Let's go do something fun. Let's avoid this topic that's upsetting you. This is Travis. This is Joe. Joe is Selena. Travis is Haley. That's the vibe. And she misses someone that can support her and be her shoulder. Yeah, I'm hearing Lean on Me by Bill Withers. He doesn't do that for her. I keep being drawn to the scene from Trainwreck where the guy's receiving an award and the woman ditches and she's not there for the acceptance speech. I think she's upset that Travis didn't drop everything to be with her. Yeah, she's like weary because it's like, I don't think she will ever admit this. I feel like she made the wrong choice. But yeah, pride and ego. It's like, it's too late. Yeah, I'm hearing it's too late to apologize. I know you would never take me back. So now I've got to deal with the choices that I've made. Maybe I can turn Travis into what it is that I need. Oy vey, y'all. Justice. Who's got a wandering eye? It could be Taylor with the whole not over, but I feel like it's both of them. I almost wonder, because it's reminding me of like, is it possible that Travis is cheating? If he's not cheating, I feel like he's also comparing to other people. Because it's reminding me of this movie I just watched, Love, Rosie, where it's constantly comparing to the person that you let go. Did Travis let go of somebody? Did he have a long-term relationship too? Because it's almost like they're both idolizing someone from the past. And it's like, well, this is what I got now. At least it's bringing me money. At least it's bringing me more contracts. Like I see, again, I'm being drawn to Sam Asghari, where it's like, then he had like, he was in commercials and he was in a couple of flop movies and he was doing like workout shit where he could charge people. And it's like, well, I might not have the woman that I want or the man I want for Taylor, but I got the money. I got the fame. So it is what it is. That's the vibe. Self-sabotage. I feel like they both feel that way, but I get the money. I get to be in the fame. They're both feeling this way. I wonder if they're triggering each other because of that. I hope I remember to link that reading. But I want to move on to, is the Grammys rigged for, is it racially, I mean, it's clearly to some degree racially biased, because why aren't Black women that have paved the ways and done amazing work, why are they not being appreciated for what they've done? But I want to look into that. And then I want to end it with, is there beef between Beyonce and Taylor that we don't know about? And I'll explain why I feel that way when I get to it. Okay, I lied. First, we're going to take a look at Beyonce and Taylor's relationship, because guys, I just can't shake that this is the second time that a man has spoken on Beyonce's behalf to slight Taylor. We had Kanye do it back in the day, and then Jay Z. And I don't believe in coincidence. It very rarely is a coincidence. So I do want to look into their relationship dynamic, and I do want to see if there's any bad blood that we don't know about. But don't worry, I promise, we'll look at the racial bias at the end. Okay, so before I'm even getting into this, what I'm being drawn to is when Chris got slapped by Will Smith. And we all kind of knew Jada was pulling the strings on that. To what extent, I don't know. I'd have to do another reading on it. But she's been pulling the strings on his life, period. So I almost wonder if, because I see whispering. So I almost wonder if Beyonce's trying to continue this perfect woman image while having the men do her dirty work. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. It almost feels like unevolved Virgo energy, where it's like, I do feel like Beyonce does deserve a lot of the awards that she didn't get. She, regardless of what level of conspiracy you fall under and what the hell, none of this shit's healthy. But she's put out some bangers, right? She's a very talented artist. That can't be denied. But I'm being drawn to how Jada just all of a sudden, all she had to do was roll her eyes and then Will Smith jumped. So I feel like she's got I'm seeing pit bulls, Rottweilers, the ride or die type of energy, where it's these men support her to the detriment of themselves, and I feel like she's the master manipulator of it behind the scenes. I feel like it's she'll complain about something like that. Yeah, I'm hearing them, and that's not fair. I think Rihanna, right? So I feel like she knows that they will react for her. So I do feel like there is some undertone of you don't deserve all the accolades that you're getting. That's kind of the vibe already. I feel like originally, though, she kind of had this, mother bear energy towards Taylor Swift. Because, I did notice that in the beginning, because I was looking at pictures to make a thumbnail, and I saw that she, was hugging Taylor years ago and stuff like that, and I feel like she still does from time to time. But I feel like originally she had a mother bear energy, but then it's how do you keep climbing these ladders that I'm not climbing? How are you getting to this level of success and I'm not? It's like this battle of like, you have a huge group of T-Swift fans. Why don't my fans support me like that? Why am I never? It's like, again, it's like the vibe of That's Not Fair from Rihanna. It's like she wants to keep this perfect image, not shocked with Virgo energy. And I'm also being drawn to like Sour Patch Kids, where it's like, oh, you can see my hands. Where it's like first they're sour, then they're sweet. So I feel like, yeah, and I'm seeing duality, yin yang. So I feel like she thinks, or she's seen that Taylor's not this, and I've seen it in the readings I've done of Taylor, where she's not this perfect, innocent little hee-hee blonde girl that's just, no, like she's a little smarter than she lets off. And so I do feel like Beyonce feels slighted. Again, to compare it, it would be the Will Smith slap of Chris Rock. It's like, whether or not she's doing it intentionally, I do feel like she has resentment towards Taylor. I do feel, oh my God. I do feel like there's some oh my God, I can't talk in this energy. I'm sorry, y'all. But maybe that's how Beyonce feels. It's like, how should I feel? Yeah, because I'm hearing the song, Why Should I Care? When you weren't there, when I was scared. It's like, I feel like she feels that Taylor Swift is not a girl's girl. It's like, why does Kanye and why does Jay Z need to talk about why I don't climb the ladder? Why don't you speak up for the girls? I feel like Beyonce feels that Taylor Swift's not a girl's girl. But again, with that Virgo energy, it's like, I got to keep a perfect image at all times. So I do feel like either, you know, she whispers to them like Kanye and Jay-Z, and then they do the dirty work, or she literally tells them to, and then they do it. But it's like trying to knock her down a peg, because it's like, you're not that bad bitch, I'm that bad bitch. So I feel like Beyonce feels slighted by the entire industry, not just Taylor. But again, it's like, how is Taylor climbing this ladder and not me? I've been in it longer. I do better work than she does. It's a weird rivalry where it's like, I'm better, so why am I not getting the accolades for it? I don't feel like Beyonce is actually a huge fan of Taylor Swift. It's more like, I'm trying to keep the peace. Whereas I feel like, allegedly, Kanye and Jay-Z kind of see Taylor Swift as like an entitled princess. Beyonce sees more of like, you know, I've been there, I'm part of the industry too, but sometimes you're a bitch and people don't see that, and I don't like that people don't see both sides of the story. So I do feel like Beyonce feels she's had it harder, and it's not fair that she gets put under the gun more and she misses out on opportunities more, whereas Taylor Swift can do no wrong, right? Like, I guarantee me saying this alone is going to get negative comments from Taylor Swift fans, because God forbid you see that things are not black and white. You know what I mean? Like, I can feel it. So obviously Beyonce's going to feel some type of way, because it's like, where are my accolades? Why am I not being put on the spot too? She's not wrong. Well, the universe has a funny way of working out, because I recorded Beyonce's Trift with Taylor and it did not record. So I don't know if that was a sign from the universe. I'm going to leave out what I said and we'll just go for it again and see if there's some... What the hell? That's so bizarre. Why didn't you want me to say that? I don't know. Well, you're going to say the same shit again. She feels, I don't know if I said this already. I'm sorry. Oh my God, it didn't record and I don't understand why. She feels like Taylor doesn't deserve half the shit that she gets. She's not even grateful for it, but she doesn't want to be the bad guy. It's like Jada Pinkett Smith running the game. It's like making Will Smith look bad, but meanwhile, she's the one pulling the strings. So with this, it's like the award, right? And it's like, you don't deserve half the shit that you get. Look at all these awards, right? It's like, you don't deserve it. You don't even care about it. You're, self-serving. It's like, all you care about is looking good and making new music. And I'm an actual, what is the word, Spirit? Not just a singer. She's like the jack of all trades. She feels like Taylor doesn't deserve half the shit that she gets. And even when she gets it, she doesn't appreciate it. It's like she wants to knock her down a peg, but she knew that because of the Taylor Swift fandom and how many fans that Taylor Swift has, that it would hurt her. It would hurt her career. So it's like, I got to get somebody else to do my dirty work. Throw Kanye out there, throw Jay Z out there, make it about something bigger. But in reality, it's like, if I could, I would tell you off, but I won't because I'm smart and I got to think 3 steps ahead or 10 steps ahead, whatever that saying is. I can't believe it. I can't believe it got cut off. Yeah, it's like my shit would come crumbling if I went after you. Because you got all these fandoms. This is Taylor. It's like you'd come after me and then your whole fucking posse would come after me. And it is not worth my well-being to go after you. But if I sprinkle in some like having someone else go after you that people expect because it's a man, so they act out, versus me, a woman that needs to act right, then people won't really look at me sideways and I can play the long game. So I feel like she's very methodical and analytical. I do not buy that she likes Taylor Swift. I just don't. Here's Jay Z coming in to save the day. Yeah, it's like I'll throw you up to do the job that I can't do because I would love to tell this bitch off and make her realize that she's not as great as she says she is. But I can't because it would ruin my image, my spotlight. So I need someone like Jay Z to go up because no one's going to cancel Jay Z. Just like they won't cancel fucking P. Diddy. So, you know, she ain't wrong. Magician, it's someone who, look at, it's like I'm hiding out, but I am creating the problem. So I feel like, I don't know the whole story with Kanye. I don't know the whole story with like Jay-Z, but I almost see her like whispering in their ear to like get them worked up so that they defend her for them. So maybe she plays like innocent. Yeah, because now I'm hearing Britney Spears, I'm not that innocent. And it's like, I don't want to be a victim, so I'm going to get someone else to do my work. And I keep hearing Rihanna, that's not fair. It's like, why do you win all this shit? You don't appreciate it. All you do is create music about men that you fuck up and then you start over again. Whereas I'm like a dancer. I'm a jack of all trades. I got everything to create my own reality. And I never really get acknowledged for it. But you do? Why? It's not fair. With this, it's giving me the vibe of like Emperor, again, Jay-Z being at the top of his game. It's like, I can have you create the conflict and I'll have you put it under the guise. And I do believe that we'll look into the cards, obviously, of what's going on with the Grammys and all that. But it's like Jay-Z can't be knocked off his throne, but I probably could. So I'm going to have you do the work. Get the people talking. So maybe they'll see Taylor for what she really is. I don't buy that Beyonce likes Taylor. I'm hearing the song, Can You Take It All Away, when you shoved it in my face. So it's like every new project I make, it doesn't work out, but all of your relationships that are failed, this reminds me of Joe, it's in the reverse, all of your relationships that fail, you turn it into a project and then you make all these accolades for yourself. But here I am being a boss. Yeah, I'm hearing, I'm a bitch. I'm a boss. I'm a bitch. I'm a boss. And I shine like gloss. Like, Beyonce has self-love to an extent when it comes to relationships. But Taylor doesn't have that, and she can see that. And it's like, she wants people to see Taylor for what she really is, not a girl's girl, is how she feels. It's like, if you really want to climb to the top, why aren't you supporting the people that got you there to begin with? Like, all you do is you use your relationships as inspiration to make shit. I could date 57 dudes and make banger songs, but I try to be a little more inclined with my music. I think she thinks that Taylor is just kind of like a teeny bopper, whereas Beyonce is more of like, because I'm being drawn to her song Power, where it's like, they'll never take my power. It's like, her music's very powerful. A lot of music that she's done anyway. And I think she sees Taylor as just like a ditzy teeny bopper. And it's like, why doesn't the industry see me for what I am? Why does this bitch get to climb and I don't? That's the vibe of this. Yeah, it's like, how do I move forward? I think she's also trying to wait for like the right time, because it's like, how do you take down someone who's, it's like trying to take down Britney Spears. Like, how the fuck is that going to happen? Granted, Britney Spears is a good person, but she thinks that Taylor Swift is just like someone who uses men to make music. Like, look at all the men here. Relationships, that's in reverse. Relationships, a plan to move forward. And then look, writing, books. It's like, you use men to make music. You're not, I feel like she thinks that Taylor's not talented, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. It's like, would you be talented if you didn't jump from dude to dude to dude? But again, People that project are usually not focusing on themselves. Why'd you make a song about lemonade instead of just dumping the man that's cheating on you? You know what I mean? So we do tend to hyper-focus on other people when we don't do our own work. So I don't have any emotional attachment to any of these characters, so chill out. But I can see her side. I see both sides. I feel like Taylor's just kind of me. She doesn't really think about anybody else. It's like, I'm going to date dudes. If it fails, I'm going to write a song about it. It's very much like Ariana Grande and everybody else. I think she's sad. Yeah, and it reminds me again of like the Cups being like the Grammys, or like, it's like, I should have won way more awards. Why am I not winning? Why do you prop up people like this? Is it because she can get people in the sports entertainment, which reminds me of that reading where it feels like in the dotted line, you gotta be, it's like they're all connected. So if you've seen that reading, what reading was that? It might have been my Matthew Perry reading. I'm not sure. But basically, like, in the industry, you got 100. Oh, it might have been the Justin Bieber reading, where it's like, you don't realize in that it's like you're also working for Big Pharma. You're also working for Amazon and Google and politics and stuff like that. So it's like, I feel like Beyonce's more fed up with this industry and how it's not paying off for her the way that it's paying off for someone like Taylor Swift. There's definitely a jealousy here going on, and rightly so, because why isn't Beyonce winning as much, if not more? She's definitely been around longer, and I'm sorry, T-Swift fans, but without bias here, Beyonce's made some bangers that are a lot better, and they didn't come from hurting men. You know what I mean? In fact, like, she needs to leave her man. Okay, here's Taylor. Yeah, she feels like justice needs to be served. It's like, people need to see that Taylor's, I'm hearing the song, I'm Not That Innocent. It's like, she wants people to see that Taylor's not this perfect cookie cutter. It's like, she feels like Taylor's seen kind of like as another Britney, where Britney is genuinely a true, authentic, lives from the heart type of person. Taylor's got a lot of trauma, and so she just jumps from dude to dude to dude and makes music about it, and there's a lot of childhood shit that she doesn't deal with. And so Beyonce's kind of got this annoyance with her because it's like, you're not a girl's girl. You hurt people and make music about it. Where's your true talent? Would you even have talent if you were in a long-term relationship? There's a little bit of projection going on. I'm not going to deny that. But she's not entirely wrong either. Yeah, it's all about relationships. It's all about... I think at one point she saw herself in Taylor, and then it's like Taylor just kind of blew up. It's reminded me of like Mario Kart, like when you get something and then you can shoot out. It's like, what did you get paid by? What are you doing that I'm not doing that's getting you all the accolades that I should have got? Is it because you keep serial dating? Is it because now you're willing to date someone in the Super Bowl, so now people are being drawn to Super Bowl, which brings in more money? What are you doing that's making my success not be acknowledged? I do feel like Beyonce's jealous, but it comes with an ounce of truth. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, it's like you always start over and come up with a new song. You hurt people. Yeah, disconnecting from relationships. It's like that's all you have to offer. You break up with people and then you write a song about it. What else can you do? Can you dance your ass off? Can you employ other people? Can you put other people in the spotlight? Or is it always about you, Taylor? Like, that's the vibe from Beyonce. Yeah, it's like you don't actually care about anybody but yourself. That's how Beyonce feels. Listen, I got no skin in the game. Shush. I don't care. This is how she feels. And she's not necessarily fully wrong. It's like, if Taylor went on a detox of men, would she be able to write any good music? Which is kind of where Beyonce's coming from. I write music to try and inspire women. I write music to try and lift up my people of color. I write music because I'm passionate about it. I dance. I'm everything. What are you? You're just another teeny bopper. Like, that's the vibe of Beyonce, but it's like, I'm going to play in the back because I know how this game works, and I'm not going to speak my shit. I'm going to pretend to be friends because it's better to be friends with your enemy than let everybody know it's your enemy and let all the cards come crumbling down. Back deck? Yeah, it's like you don't create actual substantial growth and progress. Your home life is shit, and you don't deserve that award because you don't care about yourself, and therefore you don't care about others. You burn everybody, and then all these swords are all the people you've hurt, but then you're going to make music about it. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Then you're going to make all this music about it, and that's why you're on top of the world? What about everything that I can do? She also feels like she's in with the wrong crowd, probably parties with the wrong people, although, again, this is giving me like the pot calling the kettle black, but they just have different ways of coping. And it's like, when is your reign going to end? And I also feel like she thinks she's abusing the system. So it's like, of course you date a football player because now you're in the football industry and now you're getting even more attention. So of course you're going to get more success and more fandom. But is it actually about your raw talent? From Beyonce's perspective, it isn't. So yeah, I'm going to leave that one alone. Do with that as you will. And now we are going to end this with the Grammys. Is it rigged? Is there a bias? Is this set up for people of color to fail? I really hope not, but I would not be shocked. And yeah, we'll call it a day. All right, so finally, last but certainly not least, we are going to look at if this is rigged and if they have an issue with people of color. Now, right away, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I'm being drawn to wrestling. And I think we all know that wrestling has a predetermined winner. I'm also being drawn to how people have unconscious racial bias. So run with that as you will. They're actually drawing me to, not to really tell my personal story, but whatever, it is what it is. I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up in the poor area. I grew up where, first of all, I didn't even know that I was part Spanish yet, but I was assumed to be a white girl and I was the minority. And when I moved eventually, because my mom met a guy and he moved us to like this middle class area. And I remember I was like, why are there so many fucking white people? Like, I don't understand. Like, why is there so many white people? Where are my black friends? Where are my Hispanic friends? I don't understand. And it was very confusing to me. And I feel like the reason they're bringing this to my attention is, yeah, those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Are there like, because what I'm being drawn to is like, some people, it's all they know. So, like, notice, for instance, the higher you go up in anything, you're going to see less people of color. And the biggest issue with that is, look at the environment that a lot of people of color have to deal with. They don't have the level of opportunities that they should, that they are entitled to, and nothing's ever done about it, right? So, yeah, I'm hearing If I Ruled the World by, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. If I rule the world, I love another baby, I free all my sons. So I do, because I'm seeing like investors and I'm seeing like old white bald guys. So are all the investors of the Grammys and stuff like that, are all the people that control it probably old white men? Because it's like, if these people are the people ruling it, then yeah, of course it's going to be a bias. But for me, it just feels like it is a systemic issue. It's not just the Grammys, although I do feel like being drawn to wrestling, it could be predetermined. I run with that as you will. I haven't pulled the card yet, but it doesn't feel like a blatant hatred. It feels like sales. Because I'm being drawn to, I don't remember where I saw this, so forgive me, but this is a fact. Apparently, in China, their Star Wars poster, they put the people of color in the black, they put the black people of color, in the back, or they would remove them and put the white people up front, because for people in China, it's more likely to sell if it's white people. So, is that racist? Yeah. However, it's an unconscious bias. I'm not saying it's okay. Definitely not saying it's okay. I'm simply saying if it's all you know and you don't choose to learn or do better, then it's going to continue to happen. And I'm being drawn to how, again, Taylor Swift brought in a bunch of money for the Super Bowl because she's dating a guy in the Super Bowl. Was that arranged? Potentially. I don't know. But it's like, who brings us the most money? Who is more, because look at the T-Swift fans, right? There's a huge T-Swift fan. Like, you come for Taylor Swift, and oh my God, like, I still get negative comments because, God forbid, I don't say anything other than Taylor Swift is a god amongst gods. Like, no, she's human like everybody else, and everybody else has problems. Even I got problems. But I feel like with this, Taylor might have won just because she's got more pull. I also feel like they're afraid of the Taylor Swift fandom. But I feel like this is more of a systemic issue that is happening worldwide that also includes the Grammys. Just because slavery ended doesn't mean the unconscious bias isn't still there. Just like I said, I grew up in an environment where white people were the minority. And when I went to a school where it was mostly white people, it was really weird for me. So, and I don't even know I was Spanish yet. So like, if it's all you know, then you're not going to know any different. Like, I remember when I went to that school, I was like, where are the people of color? And the way that they looked at me, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because if you don't know any better, you're not going to do any better. So, do the Grammys have a hatred towards black people and colored people? I'm going to hold judgment, but I do feel like they do believe that white people sell better. And again, bringing back to that, the China with the whole Star Wars poster, you can look it up. It's a real thing. They changed the poster because for some reason, for them anyway, white people are more palatable. It's an unconscious bias that is a systemic problem. So does it feel like it's malicious? No, it feels like you got rich white people ruling the world because we have a legitimate problem where the higher up you go, the more and more people of color don't get there. So yeah, it's an issue, but it doesn't feel like it's just the Grammys. Okay. I do feel like a lot of these systems are afraid to change because they might know that this is how the system works. Like, again, being drawn back to that, the whole Chinese and the Star Wars poster. It's a real thing. Go ahead and Google it. But it's like, if we were to start propping up people of color, would that make us lose sales? Would that make us, I hate to say this, but it's what I'm seeing. Would this make us lose sales? Would it make people stop watching? Would we lose the amount of people? Because, again, look at Britney's fandom. Look at Taylor Swift's fandom. Ariana Grande's fandom. Selena's fandom. Where's Beyonce's fandom? Where is Nicki Minaj's fandom? Where is Cardi B's fandom? And et cetera. You know what I mean? They're not as loud and strong. Not saying they're not strong. I'm simply saying we all know T-Swift fandom is a fucking thing, right? It's intense. God forbid I slip up on my words and say anything other than Taylor's perfect. They will come for me. But I don't think people ride for Beyonce and other people of color the same way. And so this isn't necessarily about I hate black people. It's about I want money. And it's like with everything we've created, if we were to be more inclusive and start picking people that deserved it based on their talent, would people stop tuning in? Would people stop watching our show? Everybody's obsessed with Taylor Swift. They want Taylor Swift to win, so it benefits us if Taylor Swift wins. Does that mean it was rigged? You can run with it. I ain't saying shit. But that is Taylor. And with this, it's like accept loss and move on. It's like we got a bigger picture here. We understand where y'all are coming from. It's almost like, you know what it's reminding me of? I hate to say this, but I'm getting it. It's like people that do the bare minimum and then they get pissed at you for not being grateful. That's what I'm being drawn to. I'm being drawn to a narcissist that will like buy you a soda, right? And then you're like, but I want to talk about the problem we have. And they're like, I just bought you a soda, you ungrateful prick. Why can't you see that I'm doing things for you? It's like, it's kind of giving me the vibe of like, why aren't you grateful that your people are getting nominated? It's not our fault that they didn't win. But again, it's giving me the vibe of like, it's giving me the vibe of wrestling. I can't get wrestling out of my head. And we all know that wrestling is, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say much more. Yeah, it's like, would we still bring in the sales if people that actually deserve the award were to get the award? I mean, with Beyonce, yeah, but I also feel like because of the level that Taylor has over so many different avenues, it's like she's got her fandom. Now she's bringing people into the Super Bowl arena. It's like, it's not necessarily about your talent. It's about how much money you can make, how many different lives you can impact. I almost see like someone doing research about like how people pull in people. And it's like, well, Taylor pulls in all these demographics, whereas And this is just an example. Whereas Beyonce might just pull in mostly people of color. And then you got this bias of people of color that might not be able to spend the level of money because suburban areas are not getting what they so deserve. And so it's like, white people pay more. White people make more. White people can move more. And again, I'm not agreeing with this by any fucking means. It's a systemic issue. It needs to stop. But again, it's not like, fuck this person, they don't deserve it. It's more like, what will sell more? What will get more people to tune into the show? What will get us the most amount of money? Everybody's obsessed with Taylor Swift. She should probably win. It's not like Taylor Swift's music's incredible, so she should win. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like if we were to change what we have now, we would lose so much of what we've already created. It'd be too much to change what we've already created. And again, it's like, I'm seeing like shows that just tank after a while. And it's like the Grammys have been going on forever. And look at like, you know, because I'm being drawn to like the Queen and all of that situation. And then how Meghan Markle came onto the scene and it was like, oh, how dare you bring a person of color? Whereas like the rest of us were like, it's about fucking time, even though it wasn't the best person of color to choose. It's that kind of vibe. It's like when you're so headstrong, it's like if a bunch of Tauruses ruled the world. It's like they're headstrong, they're stubborn. And I'm not dragging Tauruses, I'm a Taurus rising, shush. But it's like when you have a fixed mindset of the way things should be, it's kind of like our society at large. Things aren't changing because we're not shaking it up. It's the same type of vibe throughout all of it. It's not, I hate black people. It's this person sells the most, so they should win the award. Not this person is talented, so they should win the award. Do you see what I'm saying? Would we lose money if we listened to the people and actually chose the people that deserve the award? That's the vibe of this. I hate to say it, but it's what I'm seeing. That being said, I do feel like there are people in the industry that are like, you know, maybe we should try to commit to some form of change. You know what it's giving me the vibe of? It's like, well, we need to change, so I guess we could give a few awards to people of color, so that way they shut up and they're happy. But again, I feel like this is a systemic issue where it's like, you know what I'm being... This is fucked up. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Do I really want to... I'm going to pause. Hold up. I don't want to say this. This is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. No facts here. But I literally just saw a boardroom and I said, and I heard, why are they complaining? They have BET. That's literally what I just heard. I am so sorry. And if you are a person of color watching this, my heart fucking aches for you because it's disgusting and I don't support this. But I can't help what I just heard. It's like they still feel a need, because I'm being drawn to like when there was fountains and white people drank from this fountain and black people drank from this fountain, and it's like, why are you bitching? You have your own fountain. Or like the separation of sections, and it's like, why are you complaining? You're still allowed to be in the restaurant. You just need to be in this section. It's like they still want to divide. There is a division going on. I can't deny that that's what I'm seeing. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that's not what I'm seeing, and it's disgusting and it should be addressed. But if you guys want shit to change, you need to actually do something about it instead of making hashtags on Facebook and flipping out. What can we do to actually solve this problem? Because yes, there is a problem. Do I think that there are, because I'm being drawn to the night, I feel like there are younger people that are starting to move on. Because this reminded me of Hallmark. Like Hallmark was really, really big back in the day, but then Hallmark died out, right? Because cards just aren't what they used to be. So I do feel like as we have younger people stepping onto the scene, taking over for these old white hags that are pieces of shit, I do feel like you're going to slowly see it change, where more people of color will win as they deserve to. But I think it's going to take time because, again, you have rich old white people ruling the world that came from a time where they feel like black people should be grateful for crumbs. And that's a problem. And I'm not going to pretend that I don't see that. And it's disgusting. Yeah, Judgment Day. I do feel like they've had heated debates. Because again, I'm seeing like boardrooms where it's like, but this person doesn't deserve to win. Yeah, but this person brings in more money. If she gets nominated, you know that everybody that loves her is going to watch this. But if we prop up this new black artist who's very talented, but really doesn't have a following, that's not going to make us a lot of sales. So it's an unconscious bias mixed with money motivation, mixed with I don't want to change, mixed with you do got a couple few racist people running the world. Yes, that is allegedly true. It's like we need to bring in as much money as possible. I'm being drawn to things like the Super Bowl and stuff like that. It's like what will sell? That's what matters. What will sell? Like, for instance, a lot of the millennial stuff is coming back nowadays because we're feeling that nostalgic energy. So again, it's like, what will sell? If they don't believe that Beyonce will sell as much as Taylor Swift will sell, then yeah, they're going to prop up Taylor Swift because she's going to make more money. But I do believe there is an unconscious, for the majority of them, I feel like it's an unconscious bias. But then I feel like you got some rich old white people that are like, you should be grateful that you're even involved in this. You should be grateful that you were even nominated. There was a time where you couldn't even, it's disgusting, and I can't pretend that I don't hear it. That being said, I do feel like change will eventually come, but I'm being drawn back to the Five of Wands. I feel like we're going to be the ones that need to create the change. I'm seeing like Twitter hashtags where people with really big accounts are calling out the Grammys, calling out whoever it is that needs to be the ones that actually change. So again, not whining on Facebook to your friends, actually getting the attention of people that can make these changes happen. Because with Justice Upright, it's like the more you guys are pissed and the more you guys, because I just keep seeing like tagging people on Twitter that have the ability to make things change and being like, this card reminds me of the past. It's like in the past, our people didn't get spoken for at all. And I'm being drawn to like Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. It's like, you got to be the change that you want to see or else this shit's not going to change. Granted, with me being drawn to Hallmark, these people will eventually die off. New people will come in and they're going to be more expansive. But if you want shit to change sooner, then you need to, I don't know, hit up people with big platforms to call out people that have a say in this and start making noise to the point where it's in the news, to the point where they don't have a choice but to change. You know what I'm saying? This is why I bitch about things like, you know, Diddy gets called out, and guess what? Diddy's still in the scene. Tom Hanks was accused, ran to Greece, and now you can't even find it on Google because money will get you far. So if you want this shit to change, then you can't move on to the next thing that they throw at you. You know what I'm saying? There is a reason that during Jeffrey Epps' list, I don't know if I'm getting the right thing, but there was something bad that was going on, and then the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing was live, and we're like, why are we seeing this when something important? Because we all got the attention span of a fly. I'm not speaking for me because I'm working on that, but if you got the attention span of a fly and you move on to everything they throw at you, then they're going to keep getting away with this shit. So is it happening? Yeah, it's happening. But you got to be the change you wish to see. So start making noise. If you follow really big celebrities, start bitching to those people until they go, you know what? I don't support this either. I got your back. Start saying, hey, I'm not going to support your music, Taylor Swift, if you don't start speaking up for people of color that rightly deserve these awards that they're not getting. You need to be the change. That's the only way this is going to happen. If we just sit down and take it, it ain't going to change. Yeah, it's like the bosses. You need to be the one to tell them to fuck off. That you're not. You need to like boycott the Grammys, boycott these things that you know are kind of in a way rigged. Yeah. Yeah, it's like releasing the heartbreak today for tomorrow energy. Get your emotions out of it and start actually making plans. Start actually speaking your mind. Yeah, because I'm hearing the lyric. I started speaking my mind and tripled my views. So if you're really that mad about it, you got to be the one that does something about it. Because look, this guy don't give a single fuck about what this chick has to say. Look, he's not even focused on her. Why did this? She's being completely disregarded. This is the people that run this shit. This is the person trying to speak out. They don't feel like they have control, right? She's in the reverse. She doesn't feel like her voice is strong enough. Well, if all of our voices came together, then you'll see the change that you want. But you have to do it. Yeah, intuition back deck. Yeah, you already know the answer to this. Yeah, I don't really need to get further into this. The people that don't sell the way someone like Taylor Swift sells, they're not going to get the achievements that they deserve. It almost feels like they kind of feel like Beyonce doesn't pull in the weight that she used to, which again reminds me of a lot of these conspiracy theories where it's like, when you're not selling the way we need you to sell, then you're not going to get the accolades that you need to get. But again, to zoom out for a second, they're just trophies. Like, remember when people were crowned high school prom king and queen? It's really not that deep. They really don't matter at the end of the day. Those people got fat and they didn't really matter. But if you want your people to win, you know, then you got to stick up for them. Someone's got to make the change, and it comes with all of us. But Ten of Swords in the reverse, it ain't going to happen until y'all do something about it. Yeah, completion and success lies within you guys talking about your feelings and making a change. Maybe you need to boycott the Grammys and start making some hashtags that trend to the point that famous people get on your side. But either nothing's going to change because no one's going to do anything about it and you're going to go ooh shiny at the next thing, or make a lot of fucking noise till it gets picked up, and then these people are going to have to reevaluate. But is it rigged? Kind of. Yeah, kind of, allegedly. So I'm going to leave it at that. I know this was a long reading. I don't know how else to do readings because I like to cover multiple topics. So if you enjoyed these readings, let me know in the comments down below with a heart emoji that you made it to the end of this. I appreciate you guys so much for watching and supporting my page. Thank you to everybody that sits through the 30 seconds of ads. Thank you to everybody that likes my videos. I really support it. Thank you to anybody that shares my videos with other people. And thank you to everybody that subscribes and votes in the community posts. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you all. I'm wishing you the best in life, health, happiness. You all deserve it. We all deserve it. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. If you want to book a personal reading with me, all the links are down below. And I will catch you guys in my next video. So thank you again so much for watching. Stay free. Your voice matters. And keep talking your shit to make the change that you want to see in this world.
The Comic PM.